this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder the Capital One bank guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also talk about how most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
Hi, Kyle. Could you draw up a quick document with the basic business plan? Just one page, as a Google Doc, and send me the link? Thanks.
Hey, just finished drawing up that quick one-page business plan for you. Here's the link.
But there was no link. There was no business plan. I hadn't programmed Kyle to be able to do that yet. I'm Evan Ratliff, here with a story of entrepreneurship in the AI age. Listen as I attempt to build a real startup run by fake people. Check out the second season of my podcast, Shell Game, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you? Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. With me, as always, is Charles W. Bryant, as well as our producer, Jerry.
You can just call me Boson, Higgs Boson.
No one's going to call you that.
That'd be a great name, though.
Yeah.
Higgs Boson. What up, Higgs?
I wonder if that thing is discovered, if somebody will name their kid Higgs Boson, Meckelwitz or whatever.
Yeah. Well, if someone names their kid Detroit, I think someone could potentially name the kid Higgs Boson.
There's even a comma, I think, in there, isn't there?
In Detroit?
Yeah.
I don't remember. An exclamation point?
Yeah. There's some sort of punctuation. When you get punctuation into your name, your parents were messed up.
Yes.
Chuck's talking about a theoretical particle called the Higgs boson, and we'll talk about it in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But first we're going to talk about the place where they're hoping to find proof, positive, that the Higgs boson particle exists.
Yes, Josh. And this is very science-heavy.
Super science-heavy.
Because it's about science.
So science-heavy that Chuck and I are a little nervous about this one. I'm not afraid to admit.
I have dark matter oozing out of my ears.
Yeah, you do.
Both ears. Which is proof that it exists, at
exactly.
least.
You just amended the standard model, Chuck. All right, let's talk about this, dude. What is this? We're talking about the Large Hadron Collider, right?
Yes.
Which you may have heard about, you may know a lot about, and if you do, I imagine we'll probably get some angry emails from you.
When we mess it up, inevitably.
Right. But on the border between Switzerland and France.
Yes.
100 meters underground.
Beautiful country.
Sure. Lots of good skiing out there.
Sure.
There is a facility with a track that's, 17 miles long? I think 17.7?
16 point something, give or take. We'll just call it 17.
17. And around this track, they shoot beams of light.
Pretty simple.
It is pretty simple.
Can we stop now?
Yes, we can. There's the Large Hadron Collider, everybody.
Duh.
That's what it's called. It's called the Large Hadron Collider.
Yes.
It's been built, I think they started in the 21st century, and it finally went online for the first time in 2008. So far, it's cost $6 billion to construct.
Yeah, I've heard up to 10 even, depending on who you ask.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of countries involved. Mm-hmm. There's thousands of scientists who are going back to their home countries and saying, we need more money, we need more money.
Right.
But yeah, France and Switzerland are running the show there.
Yeah, CERN is the name of the company, we should point out.
Right. The organization, it's the European Organization for Nuclear Research, abbreviated en français, CERN.
Okay, I was about to say, those letters don't match up, man.
Right. Hey, there's something
weird.
hanky around here. So what is it, Chuck? They shoot beams of light around.
It's a particle accelerator, and it is the largest and most badass particle accelerator in the history of particle accelerators.
True that.
That's the easiest way to say it.
We've got particle accelerators that look like old donkeys pulling carts with square wheels compared to this thing.
Yeah, seriously.
This is as big as it gets. It's as ambitious as it gets. And basically what they're trying to do are several-fold. They're trying to prove the existence of the Higgs boson particle.
AKA the God particle.
Well, let's talk about this. Why would anyone want to prove the existence of a theoretical particle?
Should we go back to the standard model?
Yeah.
Should we back into this?
Let's do it.
Basically, it tries to define the fundamental particles that make the universe.
The forces.
The forces.
Right. You've got strong nuclear force, strong like bull, weak nuclear force, electromagnetic force.
Yes.
So the Standard Model, which combines Einstein's theory of relativity with quantum physics, I believe.
Quantum theory and all that other
Right.
stuff you just said.
It combines those two, and it proves the existence. It accounts for those three forces. The problem is, gravity still remains unaccounted for.
Yeah, that's the fourth fundamental force.
Like, we can account for it theoretically, but we can't say, yes, this is why gravity exists, and this is all the stuff
Right,
gravity
sure.
does. We're still, with strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, and electromagnetic force, we've advanced leaps and bounds beyond classical physics, Newtonian physics, but we're still at the apple falling off the tree level as far as this goes when it comes to gravity.
Right.
So the Higgs boson particle, if we find it, if we detect it, it will fill out the Standard Model, hopefully.
Exactly. And it's a theoretical particle at this point that we're looking for.
Right. And would they think that it exists and that basically it's responsible for giving mass or matter mass?
Right.
Right?
Which is important, they say, because not all matter has mass.
Right.
Things called neutrinos,
Right.
delicious and nutritious neutrinos, do not have mass.
Right.
I practiced that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually written down.
Oh my
How lame
goodness.
is that? So not everything has mass, and the idea is that if you explain the existence of mass using the Higgs mechanism, we'll all be better for it and understand our origins.
We
and
are.
all that stuff.
But ultimately, that's what it comes down to, is we're like, theory is not good enough. We have to
Right.
know.
Uh-huh.
You know? So the Higgs boson particle is one of the bigger ones.
Oh, yeah.
Named after Peter Higgs, by the way, physicist who theorized it.
Right.
How do you know a theoretical particle when you see it?
That's a good question. Do you know?
This is what I understand. That you can't just say, "Oh, there must be this particle out there."
Sure.
And name it after me, by the way.
Right,
I
right.
think Peter Higgs went a little further and said, "This particle must exist, and if it does exist, this is its energy, its mass.
Right.
So find this."
Right. And name it after me.
Right, exactly. And so if what's going to happen when they turn the Large Hadron Collider on? This Christmas, right?
I think it begins the process, which will take several months after that to collide. Isn't that right?
Yeah, they'll have their sensors looking for
Right.
a particle that's created that has that, I guess, mass, that energy, that whatever, however it's described mathematically.
Yeah. The dark
Way
matter
beyond
is
my stuff.
Yeah, it's coming out of my ears right now.
So dark matter is another one that they're hoping to find, right?
Yeah.
You've got it coming out your ears. Tell us about it, Chuck.
Well, here's the deal with dark matter is right now humans can observe about 4% of all the matter that must exist in the universe.
That's all we can account for.
Yeah, that's not very much.
No.
There's a theory that dark matter is this undetectable matter, and that, coupled with the matter that we can detect, makes up only about 25%.
Yeah.
Which is still not much.
No.
And the other 3/4 is what they think might be a force called dark energy.
Right, which scientists have become alarmed over the last few decades when they've detected that the universe is actually expanding.
Right.
And they don't know why.
Well, and they think that dark energy may be the reason.
Right, so they're looking for that too. A lot of once you theorize something, you kind of have to back it up with, and this is what it's going to look like.
Right.
And so you sense for it, right?
Sure.
They're also looking for antimatter, which
Right.
is matter's hated foe,
Right.
and they like to cancel each other out.
Yeah, that's how it supposedly worked. Is that there was more antimatter,
More matter.
more matter than antimatter when the Big Bang happened.
Which is how we're here.
Exactly.
But they don't know why, and they're hoping
To recreate that.
Yes, and
Simulate.
and that is the hook, Chuck. What they're going to do, they want to find all this stuff and more by recreating the Big Bang.
Yes.
The what the universe looked like a trillionth of a second after the Big Bang.
Right.
Right?
Because we think what happened was the universe expands and cools, and all these particles floating around join up together and form larger particles, and then
Protons.
all of a sudden, what's the word? Evolution
Sure.
starts rolling.
Right.
Pretty cool.
If you believe in that kind of thing.
Right.
They're also looking for some other stuff, slightly stranger stuff than, dark matter and antimatter.
Uh-huh.
They're looking for evidence, adherents of string theory are looking for evidence of string theory.
Which would mean another dimension.
Several, up to 11, I believe.
Yeah, that's
Michio Kaku,
sure.
I think, theorized 11. I don't buy string theory.
Yeah, and you've always poo-pooed
I
that.
have a real problem, and it's most likely I just don't understand it. But from what I understand, very, very smart people don't understand it either.
Well, there's no
get the
proof.
impression that Kaku is like, this is what he didn't come up with the measurements to
Right.
back it up.
Right.
You know,
But you're on the same page as a lot of scientists, though. They also say that it's a philosophy, it's not a science.
right under his theory or under his philosophy, however you want to say it, there's up to 11 different dimensions. We're currently aware of 4: height, width, depth, and time.
Yes.
Those are our 4 dimensions that we exist in. Under Keku, there's 11 total, so there's another 8 that are unaccounted for.
Right.
And that all matter in the universe is made up of tiny vibrating strings. Some are closed like little rubber bands.
Right.
Some are open like little, I don't know, tapeworms.
Like a cut rubber band.
Right. Sure. Nice one, Chuck.
Yeah, and these strings can vibrate.
Yeah.
And like a guitar string. And one vibration might make it look like an electron. One might make it look like a neutrino, a delicious
Which is
and nutritious
delicious.
neutrino.
Right.
And that's string theory in its most simplest form.
But even still, the strings are highly hypothetical.
Oh, yeah.
And even if they were created, we apparently wouldn't be able to sense them. What they're looking for, the string theorists, is evidence of supersymmetry.
Right.
And supersymmetry is you have a particle, and it has an opposite particle, like a neutron and a positron, positive
Yes.
and negatively charged.
Right, an antiparticle, sure.
Right. Even further, those are super partners. Even further into supersymmetry, and this will somehow, I guess, prove string theory. I don't understand how it will, but and oh my God, can you imagine the length of the emails we're going to get from people who explain how this proves string theory?
Yeah, I'm already suffering from brain melt. I can't imagine anymore.
So you've got the neutron and the positron.
Yes.
And those are super partners. But each of those have a positive partner too. Rather than an opposite, they have one that's like them as
Right.
well.
Each one has their own partner.
So each particle will have 3 partner particles.
3 counterparticles.
Counter particles. Perfect, Chuck.
Yes.
So that would be supersymmetry. And apparently, if they find evidence of supersymmetry, then bada boom, bada bing, string theory is right.
Right. And it also helps to explain dark matter.
Yes, it does.
So, wow. Is anyone still out there?
Yeah, stick with us, everybody. We're muddling through this part, but it's about to get a little more interesting.
There's like 10 nerds that are like, this is the best thing ever.
No, they're like carving their knives.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Ready to slice us up.
Yes. So that's what they're looking for. And also, I think this is what I find most fascinating about it. Most of the scientists out there, I think, there are very few who are looking for evidence to back up their theories. Most of them are actually hoping to learn, like, everything they know is wrong. And there's all this new
Right.
stuff so that they can
start
go
over.
out there and figure out how this fits here and all that. I find that very interesting.
Yeah, me too.
It's a very ambitious project. And as Strickland points out in this article, very comprehensive article, by the way,
Yeah.
there is no practical application for this.
Yeah, it's all just to see what happens.
Yeah, which
And
is
go from
pretty
there.
cool to sink 6 to 10 billion into, you know?
Well, and if you've ever seen the thing, I mean, the pictures of the Hadron Collider is just unbelievable.
It's ginormous.
It's ginormous.
So what are they going to be doing, Chuck? How does this thing work?
Well, Josh, there are 8 sectors at the Hadron Collider.
Right.
And they basically use magnets to steer these beams of light, these protons,
Right.
in a circle.
Right.
Because
'cause if
otherwise
you
it just goes
shot it-
straight.
Right.
Sure.
You love that part.
Well, yeah, because that's the only part that makes sense.
Right. The magnets are actually super cooled, right, Chuck?
Yeah, well, there's 9,600 magnets. If you want a little stats.
This one's stat heavy. This
big time.
is your show.
So 9,600 magnets. Many of them weigh several tons, which is pretty
Pretty big.
big. And they are cooled, Josh, to 1.9 degrees Kelvin, which is negative 271 Celsius, or negative 456 Fahrenheit.
Which is just above absolute zero.
Yeah.
And the reason why they would want to cool an electromagnet to just above absolute zero is there's very little electrical resistance.
Sure.
When you turn that thing on.
So it can operate smoothly,
Exactly.
ideally.
Right. Because its purpose isn't to, like, do a jokey attract all of the pots and pans at the CERN facility to it. I mean, it has a purpose. It's steering beams of light, which is much more difficult. You go out there and try to steer a beam of light.
I know, dude. I've tried.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is tough.
Okay, so...
well, how do they cool it, though? That's a pretty cool stat.
They cool it using liquid hydrogen and helium, right?
Liquid nitrogen, yeah.
Woo, that stuff burns.
10,800 tons of liquid nitrogen and 60 tons of liquid helium to finish up.
Right.
That's pretty hardcore.
Okay, so you've got these magnets, and actually inside the magnets are pipes.
Right.
Which are vacuumed.
Yeah, you got to have a vacuum.
So basically, if you've heard vacuum and almost absolute zero, this sounds an awful lot like outer space.
Like deep space.
Exactly.
Yes.
So they're creating a vacuum to keep any particle out.
Right.
Any particle could screw this whole thing up. Mm-hmm. So imagine that. There's inside this almost 17-mile track, there's nothing.
They're creating deep space 328 feet below the Earth's crust.
Without the space junk.
That's nuts, dude. It is.
Okay, so Chuck, along this, and also those the 8 sectors, each one is an arc, like you said, so it's basically one big circle.
Yeah.
And along this big circle are 6 stations, basically.
Right.
And each one of these is outfitted with, tons of sensors. There's 150 million sensors, I think, throughout the whole collider.
Right.
And so each station is basically working to measure one thing or another, right?
Yeah. And we could go into detail here, but this is really when people would tune out. But
Right.
just suffice to say, there are 8 main stations where they're looking for, or 6 of them? 6 main stations.
6, yeah.
4 of which are really ginormous, collecting lots of info, and then 2 kind of smaller ones.
Right, and remember they're collecting things like information about radiation, sudden changes in mass, gravitational fields, electromagnetic fields, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And then it's going to sort through. And actually, another interesting thing about CERN is that it's getting something like 15 petabytes of data gathered every year, which is 15 million gigabytes.
Yeah.
And they're constantly. The sensors are constantly feeding back information.
Yeah, would they say that was enough information to fill 100,000 DVDs?
Which is not as impressive as I would have thought.
I'm pretty impressed.
Okay. And they're actually using grid computing, using off-the-shelf computers, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. They just linked them together.
Right.
Why'd they do that?
It's more efficient from what I understand.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's cheaper.
Right. They're saving. Speaking of cheap, you know what's not cheap? Their power bill.
No.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. $30 million per year just to power this thing.
Yeah.
After they've already sunk between $6 and $10 billion into it.
Right. And once this thing gets revved up, what they're going to do the first step, Chuck, and this is like the big experiment. Basically, they're just shooting beams of light and then smashing them into each other.
Right.
Okay, so what they're going to do first is they're going to take hydrogen atoms, they're going to strip them of their electrons, right?
Yeah, makes
which
a proton.
produces protons. They're going to take the protons and they're going to send them through a machine that fires them as beams.
The PS booster.
That's the accelerator, right?
I think that's what gets, there's a bunch of them, but that's what gets it going.
Right, so it's just a beam and then it's a beam.
Right.
Right? Okay, Chuck, so when they get these beams ready, right, when the whole thing's ready to go online for the big experiment.
Right.
Sometime early next year.
Hopefully.
So the first step is to take hydrogen atoms and strip them of their electrons.
Poor guys.
Which makes protons, right?
Yeah.
And there we have our protons, because this ultimately is a proton accelerator, right?
Right.
What they do is they feed these into a machine called the LINAC 2, which fires the beams of protons into the accelerator, which is the PS booster.
Yes. And, dude, that uses radio frequency electric field to push the protons along and kind of get them started on their journey to just below light speed.
Yeah, right. It's like, yeah, get along, little protons.
Right, and you're going to meet some other guys later that are going to whip you even harder.
Right, yeah. That PS booster makes them go from, a beam of light to a beam of light, right?
Right.
Okay.
That's a good way to say it.
Thank you very much. And the magnets are going to come in now. They're keeping these proton beams on track.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing's going along pretty quick, and then the PS booster injects it into another accelerator called...
the Super Proton Synchrotron. Hey.
It sounds like a children's toy.
It does.
It does, doesn't
A
it?
very expensive one.
So the beams are now really picking up speed, and they're divided into bunches.
Right.
Okay, so you have, just imagine one beam, and it's divided into, I think, 2,800 bunches?
2,808
Per beam.
per beam.
And each bunch has 1.1 times 10 to the 11th power protons.
Right. And this is important to say that they shoot one counterclockwise and one clockwise.
Right.
'Cause they need to be
and they're in
headed at each other.
two different tunnels.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're going different directions, but they're getting faster and faster, and they're actually coming very, very close to the speed of light. At one point, remember, this is a 17-mile track.
Yeah.
At one point,
This is
as these
crazy.
beams are getting to their top speed, they make 11,245 trips around the track per second.
Stat of the year.
That it may be.
Dude, it's, what is this, mid-November, and that's the stat of the year.
Yeah.
More than 11,000 trips around a 16-mile track per second.
Yep.
If you ever wondered how fast the speed of light is, that's 99.9% there.
Yeah. But
That's
you
nuts.
gotta admit that 100th% is pretty substantial.
Sure.
I wonder how many trips they make at the speed of light.
Yeah, the fact that we have figured out how to do this, not you and I, obviously, but
Yeah.
humans have figured out how to do this is pretty amazing.
I
If
agree.
it works.
Amazing or terrifying, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yes. And then, Josh, you know what happens then? They converge.
Yeah, they direct these bunches of
Yep.
beams of protons
And
to
then
each other, and
boom.
kaboom!
600 million collisions per second at that point.
And I get the impression also that it wasn't clear, but the beams can be directed toward one another at each of the 6 sensor stations.
Oh, okay. Really?
I think so.
Oh.
Because I think you have to have your sensors right there.
Right.
We'll see.
That makes sense.
We'll find out.
So,
we're going, by the way. I already booked us a trip.
Oh, really?
We'll be there.
Sweet. So what happens, Josh, is they're going to collide, and they're going to break up into small particles like quarks.
And their accompanying energy called gluon,
Yeah. You know, gluon keeps it all together.
which is why it's called gluon.
Is it really?
No, I don't
No,
know.
of course not. But quarks are really unstable, and they will decay in just like a fraction of the second. But we have all these sensors to pick up what happened. In the meantime.
Exactly. I think that's part of the problem with why we can't detect this stuff in the universe is it's already happened, right?
Right.
And we're witnessing its effects. We're part of its effects, right?
Right.
So they want to recreate the beginning of the universe to see if these things really exist and what their effects are, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
There's possibly going to be some other things that are created inadvertently.
Yeah, photons and muons.
And black holes, Chuck.
Yeah, that's possible.
It's very possible, actually.
Even CERN said it was possible.
Uh-huh.
That's one of the critics. One of the things the critics point out is you may create a black hole and you may destroy the Earth. So much so that two dudes sued them basically to try and stop it.
And not just two dudes. A guy named Walter Wagner and Luis Sancho. Walter Wagner was the former nuclear safety officer for the Large Hadron Collider.
Right.
He was like the guy who was in charge of safety, and he filed a lawsuit in a U.S. District Court in Hawaii to file an injunction, or to create an injunction to stop that thing from being turned on.
Yeah, because you know what a black hole is.
It's a bad mamma jamma is what it is.
I love how Strickland puts it. Black holes are regions in which matter collapses into a point of infinite density. Not good.
No, it's not. And again, as Chuck said, CERN has said, yeah, maybe. They may create some black holes.
But really teeny ones.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're
Yeah.
saying, yeah, the black hole you know and love is a star collapsing on itself. We're talking about subatomic particles collapsing on themselves.
Right.
So it
So
may
don't worry
create a
about it.
black hole, but, you know, it's going to be tiny. One of the concerns that Wagner and Sancho have is that, sure, it may be tiny, but no one's ever done this before, and you guys have no idea
Yeah.
whether this is safe or not.
There's just too much unknown.
Right, and they're like, no, our magnets are safe. They've been tested. They're like, we're not talking about the magnets. We're talking about all the stuff you have no idea
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
And they also said, I love the response, one of CERN's response was, and there's no one allowed down in there while it's going on.
Right,
And they're like, dude, what about the Earth
right, yeah.
being swallowed up into a black hole?
Sure.
Forget the one scientist that's, wants to watch the explosion.
Forget him.
Yeah.
He can write out of the black hole what's going on down there, you know?
Yes, Josh, and you know what? You know what else they think they might produce?
The Strangelet?
Yeah.
Yeah, these things are a little scary.
Yeah, could be worrisome. Strangelets could possess a gravitational field that could convert them and the entire planet Earth into a lifeless hulk.
Right. They think that Strangelets have this, they're very dense. I think they're theoretical as well, right?
Yeah, the hypothetical.
They apparently have the property of lending their incredible density to any other particle it touches and setting off a chain reaction.
Kind of like Rogue from X-Men.
Sure.
Maybe?
Kind of. I think there's a lot of quantum physics in X-Men.
In my pea brain, that's what I'm going to think.
So, they're worried that if a Strangelet is created, it could set off a chain reaction that turns all matter on Earth into this ultra-dense, dead, like lifeless hulk, including us on Earth, because we're on Earth.
Yes, but CERN dismisses that for a few reasons. They say, first of all, that it's hypothetical, so we don't even know that.
Right.
So don't get your panties in a wad yet.
Right.
I believe that's what the memo said, actually. And then they said that actually there's an electromagnetic field that would really repel normal matter instead of changing it.
Sure.
So don't sweat it.
Right.
Then they say even if it does exist, it would be really unstable and would probably just decay like instantaneously.
Like those black holes.
Right. And then the final thing they say is that high-energy cosmic rays would produce this stuff naturally anyway. And
It should be hitting the Earth already.
yeah, and we're still here, so don't worry about it.
The one that I have the real problem with was the third one, that it should decay almost instantaneously.
Yeah. Or it's like should.
Does it really? Well,
comforting.
no, I mean, does it really take a very long time for a Strangelet to transfer that, to set off a chain reaction?
That's true.
We'll find out if the world's a lifeless hulk this February.
Yeah. Sweet.
There's a couple of guys. Remember that Higgs boson particle that we talked about at the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of guys who are actually very well-respected physicists, right, Chuck?
That's what I'm told.
Who have come up with a couple of papers that basically say, and these are real physicists, these are real respected physicists, and they're not joking.
Right.
They're saying that the Higgs boson has already been created in the future at CERN, at the Large Hadron Collider, and it was so abhorrent that it rippled back in time and sabotaged itself so that it could never be created. Sabotaged the LHC so it could never be created.
So what's the analogy they liken it to? Coming back from the future to kill your father so you will never be born?
Or your grandfather's, whatever. That's
Right.
actually a paradox. You can't do that or else you never would have been born in the first place.
Exactly.
But they make the case that it's not a paradox to travel back in time to push your grandfather out of the path of an oncoming bus.
Right.
Which is what they're saying the Higgs boson's doing.
Right. And the reason they say this is because it has failed on a spectacular level so far. They have yet to
There's
crank
some
this up and
things
get a
that
real
have
collision.
happened. Strange things, you could say.
Well, there have been some strange ones. The first one wasn't that strange. It was a coolant leak. And it destroyed a lot of the magnets, which was pretty expensive to fix.
Sure.
So that knocked it off track for quite a while. Off track, literally.
For a good year.
Yeah. And then, Josh, you know what happened last week?
Mm-hmm.
A bird dropped a baguette, a piece of bread, into this thing.
Yeah, into one of the magnets.
This is really what happened.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
I can, because I'm kind of with the two physicists who think that the boson has been created and traveled back in time.
Yeah, so this bird drops this into a piece of the outdoor machinery and overheated parts of it, and it was not operational at the time, but they said that it produced such a spike that if it had been turned on, that dropping this bread would have enabled the automatic fail-safes and it would shut it down.
Right.
Piece of bread.
Right.
From a bird.
Yeah.
That's a little hinky.
It is, but at the same time, if you think about it, it's not really that hinky. But everyone paying attention is so like, this could be really great, or it could conceivably end life as we know it.
Right.
Let's see what happens. So anything that happens to it is just hugely
Under the microscope?
yes.
Yes.
And I just realized that I was agreeing with the string theorist, one of the physicists. Is Holger Beck-Nielsen. And his compatriot, Japanese physicist Masao Ninomiya. And these are the two that are saying that the Higgs boson was created and traveled back in time.
Right.
They have a very easy way of solving whether or not the LHC should be put online.
How's that?
A card game.
Really?
Yeah, they want to come up with basically, let's say, 100 million cards. And 99,999,099 of these cards say, go ahead.
Right.
And then one card says, shut it down. And obviously this is all software, not actual cards.
Yeah.
And then you ask the LHC to pick one. And if the LHC picks the one that says shut it down, then we should shut it down.
Shut it down.
Then it's fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are they actually going to do this?
I don't think so.
Well, because they have no sway over CERN anyway, do they?
No, they don't. They're not related to CERN. But like I said, they are both respected physicists, and the physics community, when they first heard about this, were like, ha, 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 ha. And then they read it and they were like, huh. Yeah, because it is possible, hypothetically. And if the LHC is involved in anything, it's hypothesis and theory.
Yeah, big time.
Until it proves everything or destroys the universe.
We should say, too, that this baguette in the works has not thrown it off schedule, apparently, this time.
No.
It's just shut it down for the time being. They're still on schedule. And like you said, I think they're going to start cranking it up sometime this winter.
And then they're going to break for Christmas and come back and then boom.
See what happens.
Chuck, I propose, and I also propose this to all of our listeners, having a big old party on the day that they do this.
Because it could be our last.
Could be.
I also want to point out that I just saw this in the news today. One of the scientists was arrested in France as an Al-Qaeda suspect. Mm-hmm. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And, of course, they're saying that this has nothing to do with Al-Qaeda trying to get their hands on the LHC or anything like that. It was just kind of one of those things. And there's, I think, 7,000 scientists working on it.
Right.
So, it's not that big of a deal.
No.
Oh, I guess it is for him.
Yo, he's in big trouble. Yeah. So that's the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
We'll probably talk about it again at some point in time, don't you think?
Yeah, we should follow up when it happens, if it happens.
And we'll probably read one of the emails from one of the physicists that write in and let us know how supersymmetry could prove string theory.
Right.
Yeah?
I look forward to that.
Yeah. So if you want to read this article, I strongly recommend it. We didn't cover all of it. It's a good article written by Strickland.
Yeah.
You can type in Large Hadron Collider in the search bar at howstuffworks.com.
And bring your drip pan to catch the melting brain.
The antimatter that drips from your ear.
Yeah, it's dense.
And I guess now, Chuck, it's time for listener mail, right?
Yes, it is, Josh. My favorite portion of today's show. We're going to call this a response to my my admission that Emily and I fight before every plane trip.
Okay.
Remember when I said that?
Yeah.
So we have someone out there that agrees that, or not agrees, but it happens to her and her husband as well. They've been married for 16 years, and every time before we take a trip, my husband has a major anxiety attack and acts like a total a-hole. I know that's what it is, and I am pretty tolerant, but until he's on the plane or in the car, he refuses to acknowledge the reason for his tension, or even that he's particularly grouchy, which is what I do. So the few days before we travel are always fraught, and we always end up fighting about the only time we do fight. Once we're on our way, he's fine. I'm still totally aggravated, though, from him being such a jerk. They've been married 16 years, and this is how she's talking. Earlier this year, we went to Chile for a month, and when I booked the flights, I seriously considered getting separate seats. I threatened that next time I'm booking my flight a few days earlier than his. Anyway, just wanted to share this so you know you're not alone.
That's nice.
As always, thanks for the great podcast. The site is great in general. Searching for unicorns linked me to some information on hardy roses, which I'd actually recently been looking for.
Awesome.
So there you have it.
Wow.
And that is from Anne in New York City. And Anne says, as a P.S., I could not find your team on Kiva. How do I find it?
Well, Anne, you can find it.
Funny you should ask.
By going into the URL bar of your web browser and typing www.kiva.org/team /stuff you should know. And Chuck, there's all the more reason. By the way, I wanted to say, I could not be prouder of our team, Chuck.
The Stuff You Should Know Army is awesome.
We're at straight up 100% loans.
More.
Are we really?
Yeah, it was something like 750 members and 780 loans. We're above one
great.
loan per member.
In 4 weeks, everybody, we donated $20,000. Mm-hmm. That's phenomenal. And Colbert's already been left in the dust. His leaky team is donating like $8,000. I think they might be at $9,000 so far. Chuck and I actually issued a video challenge to Mr. Colbert.
We did.
We want to see who can be the first to. What did we decide on?
$100,000, I think.
That's a pretty big undertaking, I would say.
Yeah.
But I think we can do it. So everybody, we have challenged Colbert's team to see who can get to 100,000.
Yeah, and he's ignored us so far, so if anyone knows Mr. Colbert, or if anyone has any connection with this show, or you're a fan, go smack him on his big fat head and tell him about the little challenge.
Damn right.
That's what I say.
So, again, that's www.kiva.org/team/stuff you should know. And if you have an email for Chuck or me or Jerry or the Large Hadron Collider, you can send it to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com. Want more How Stuff Works? Check out our blogs on the howstuffworks.com homepage. Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you?
At CVS, it matters that we're not just in your community, but that we're part of it. It matters that we're here for you when you need us, day or night. And we want everyone to feel welcomed and rewarded. It matters that CVS is here to fill your prescriptions and here to fill your craving for a tasty and, healthy snack. At CVS, we're proud to serve your community because we believe where you get your medicine matters. So visit us at cvs.com or just come by our store. We can't wait to meet you. Store hours vary by location.
Hi, Kyle. Could you draw up a quick document with the basic business plan, just one page, as a Google Doc, and send me the link? Thanks.
Hey, just finished drawing up that quick one-page business plan for you. Here's the link.
But there was no link. There was no business plan. I hadn't programmed Kyle to be able to do that yet. I'm Evan Ratliff, here with a story of entrepreneurship in the AI age. Listen as I attempt to build a real startup run by fake people. Check out the second season of my podcast, Shell Game, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.